Good Monday morning and welcome to TWINN number 42, where in 5 minutes or less, I would like to share with you some important headlines and stories that we should all be paying attention to. Now, in this first one, this Biden administration meeting that on ransomware was the first of many intended meetings. More than 30 countries gathered and acknowledged the global cybersecurity threat that it has become. Noticeably absent, though, were Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. Let me read you this paragraph here. The meeting did not result in any formal treaty or pledge, but rather yielded a statement laying out cooperation across a wide range of areas, countering illicit finance, disruption of ransomware networks through law enforcement, diplomacy to encourage states to hold criminals accountable, and strengthening cybersecurity. Glad that part wasn't missed. Next, we have Acer confirming the second cyber attack this year after their March incident. And it says here, this is the second cyber attack Acer has suffered this year after being hit with ransomware in March. The Revil ransomware group claimed the attack and demanded a $50 million ransom, one of the highest reported at the time. But Acer offered to pay the group $10 million, which was rejected by the hackers. They do come back when they don't get what they want. In this next story, we have a mystery snail attack that is used with the Windows 0 Day. And it is a real zero-day exploit, meaning that a Windows vulnerability is being exploited in the wild, which is a weakness that is not yet patchable. And what we see over and over again in these types of attacks is that they rely on being able to reach out to their command and control operations, such as disktest.com, sunblurks.com, or ddspadus.com, all of which actually would not be added to anyone's allow list, even with an adaptive allow listing mode. It's just another reminder that relying on patching and block listing alone is not sufficient. Next, we have a story on how Coinbase phishers were stealing one-time passwords, thanks to great reporting from Brian Krebs. Now, we don't see too many stories about one-time password tokens being stolen anymore, but when it's easy enough, it will happen. And in this case, the phishing campaign was actually quite successful, as the victims willingly handed out their new credentials along with their OTP token. And again, such phishing is preventable, but only with an adaptive allow listing approach, where the internet is nothing, but you add adaptively what is necessary, needed, and proven to be safe. And in our fifth story today, we find that researchers notice that Android phones are still tracking you even when you opt out. Now, the momentum towards tracking in everything Android users do just seems to never end. In particular, Google Analytics and DoubleClick, another Google company, are some of the places that system apps willingly share everything with, even when you opt out. But I can tell you one thing, if I used Android, there's no way I'd ever use it unless there's a separate traffic gateway upstream from it that would be blocking such common vectors. Sadly, what we see here is impacting the normal, everyday people that are the victims. And did you know there's one search engine that has never had a keyword or user warrant, which is DuckDuckGo. In a day when our civil liberties are not what they used to be, this might matter more and more. And so it's easy to make Duck your default search engine in any browser, but in Brave, it's under Settings, Search Engine, and it's right there in your drop-down list. See you again next week.